Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Kathy Sheffers, and I'm on the marketing team at Goodheart-Willcox. We are thrilled to have you join us today. Our registration for today's webinar represents 38 states and provinces. Your LMS in use included a majority in Canvas, a good number in D2L, a handful in Moodle and Blackboard, and many who checked other. So if you're using a different LMS that we didn't have on the form, we'd love to hear what you're using. If you wanted to go ahead and put that in the chat as we get started, we'd love to hear what LMS you're using. I also wanted to share a few housekeeping items before we get started. You are in listen-only mode, but we definitely want to hear from you throughout the session. Please use that chat box and question boxes to ask questions and provide any comments. We will also have time at the end of the session for Q&A. Finally, we will be sending you a recording from today's session in the next few days, so be checking your inbox for that. Finally, many of you indicated that you are currently reviewing resources for upcoming courses. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Erin Brennan to get things started.
Thanks so much, Kathy, and thank you all for joining us. It was so nice to see some familiar names registered for this event and looking forward to making new friends. Allow me to introduce us all, please. So again, I'm Erin Brennan. I'm the Transportation Acquisitions Editor here at GW, so I'm responsible for our transportation materials. If any of you are interested in reviewing or authoring, I'm the lucky girl that you'd reach out to. So I look forward to hearing from you all. And I know many of you on the list have engaged with us in the past in those ways. So thank you so much for all of your feedback. My colleague, Gail, who is an educational consultant in a number of states, offered to join me. Gail is my demo diva. So very shortly after I do a brief introduction of the ASE suite, I'm going to hand off to Gail, and she's going to work her magic in Canvas. So thank you very much, Gail. We're also fortunate to have Blake Roberts with us. Thank you, Blake, for being here. Blake is our digital solutions specialist, AKA the guy that you ask the tough technical questions to within the chat. So thanks in advance to Blake. Many of you, probably Blake's name is familiar to you because he's the go-to when it comes to implementation and training and support. So thank you, Blake, for supporting us today. And then Kathy's going to close us out. She kicks us off and then she'll kick us out when we're done with the webinar. So thanks in advance, Kathy, for closing out the webinar and giving some final remarks. But for those of you that are on the call that aren't familiar with who your GW consultant is, feel free to visit that URL that you see here on the screen, or you're welcome to reach out to Kathy or myself and we'll help to make that introduction for you. But again, thanks so much for being here. Now, I always like to start a presentation familiarizing you with or reconnecting you with GW and the wonderful history that we have. So we came into existence in 1921, so we have more than 100 years in publishing experience. But my favorite part of the story is that our first product was an automobile encyclopedia. So we have been loving up on transportation programs, supportive of transportation training for more than 100 years. And since then, we've expanded into the trades, healthcare, various CTE disciplines, and most recently, we've gotten into health and physical education training. And the other side to this story that I enjoy telling is on this screen, you see this beautiful office building. This is our office building, our headquarters. We're based in Tinley Park, Illinois, outside of Chicago. This is where a good majority of our teammates work. Our warehouse is here, customer service is here, technical support is here. So when you place an order from GW, you're talking to a customer service rep in this office. The warehouse is also in this office. So your order is picked from the warehouse, it's shipped from Tinley Park. And then should you have any questions or needs or support and implementation, you're again calling into Tinley Park. So just really love that story, not just the history, but also the current state of affairs with regards to GW. Little GW trivia for you. So, but the reason why we're here today, the reason why you're joining us, thank you so much, is to be made aware of our automotive suite. Now, I know there are many of you on the webinar, thank you so much, that are already using the suite. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you some of the updates that we've made with the 2026 ASE Automotive Suite. But I also know there are some of you that are like, Erin, what is the Automotive Suite? What does it entail? So our ASE Automotive Suite provides digital access to all system training in automotive, areas A1 through A8. And with this suite, we also fully align to and support the competencies that are articulated in the ASE Education Foundation MAST task list. Your students using our suite are going to get dedicated access or access to a dedicated ebook for each of the systems areas. So within the suite, we serve up an ebook for engine repair, for transmissions, for brakes, electricity and electronics, etc. We also serve up system-specific job sheets, which we know is a critical component of their automotive training, is their ability to be hands-on and be competent and employable when they leave your programs. We also within the suite serve up system-specific ASE type questions. So when they're in their brakes course, not only are they using a brakes ebook and brakes job sheets, but they're also preparing for their ASE brakes certification should they do that as part of their training with you. And the suite is all available via a single access code that your students purchase, which provides them either 1 year or 2 years worth of access to the suite directly within your LMS. And when I hand off to Gail, Gail's going to demo the suite for you directly within Canvas. Now, we also know that some of you are fans of print textbooks. We are too. Your students are, you as instructors are. So if you still love having that physical print text, we have those too. So in addition to digital access to all of the systems, if you'd like, we can also add print for your students. So before Gail goes and wows you with her Canvas demo of abilities, I thought I'd walk you through each of the assets that she's going to show you. So again, as I mentioned, each of the systems, your students will have access to a dedicated textbook, an ebook. That ebook has additional functionality that they're going to enjoy and benefit from, like notes, highlights. You as instructors can create notes and highlights and share them with your students. And then I think one of the best things about the ebook is also the text to speech functionality. I know not necessarily all students are strong readers, so this will help obviously not just their learning, but probably their reading abilities as well as that text to speech functionality that Gail's going to show. We also serve up our job sheets electronically. Historically, we serve them up as PDFs. They looked really pretty, but now what we've done is we've transitioned to delivering them as Word documents, which allows you the opportunity to edit them based on the equipment that you have, the vehicles that you have, the tooling that you have. And it also allows your students while they're in the shop to edit directly within the Word documents. And again, those all live within the suite. We also serve up e-flashcards, matching activities, additional chapter reinforcement. There's vocabulary games. Gail's going to show you a Jeopardy-esque activity that we include. And then there are additional interactive activities like parts labeling, component identification, again, all served up within your learning management system. Students also have access to a video library. We have several dozen videos currently across the different automotive systems, but this spring we've been hard at work expanding that video library. We'll have more than 200 new videos that we'll deliver within the learning management system cartridges to the benefit of you and your students this fall. And those videos focus on the ASE Education Foundation MAST tasks, all the priority ones. So that's really exciting. It was, they were created at a local school. It's a gorgeous, relatively new facility with students as technicians. So we're really excited to make those available to you all for the start of your fall semester. And then we've also created and delivered what we call an automotive virtual toolbox. Those are based on the ASE Education Foundation tool list. We know that students these days don't necessarily have the exposure to tooling and vehicles. They're not necessarily working on the family vehicle in their driveway with their fathers or their mothers or their grandparents. So we know you guys are spending a lot more time in terms of tool awareness, tool identification. So we serve up visual flashcards of different tools, and Gail's going to show you that shortly as well. We provide a simulation that allows students practice using a multimeter, as well as, thanks to Advanced Auto Parts, some really high-end, high-quality videos and animations that are reflective of what advanced employees are experiencing in their shops with their customers. So special thanks to Advanced Auto Parts for providing us access to those animations and videos so that you have them too. And then if that wasn't enough, Gail's going to show you a new assessment tool that we have within our LMS for our LMS, or within our cartridges for our LMS users. It's going to allow you to create quizzes and tests and homework, incorporating ASE type questions too. All auto graded, which obviously will save you some time, and the scores will feed directly back into your LMS. And of course, it's not just about students, it's also about you all as instructors. We know that you probably had super successful careers in industry, but maybe not had much, classic professional training when it comes to education. So when somebody asks you for a syllabi or curriculum initially, you may have scratched your head. Well, I want you to know that we have resources available to you, things like lesson plans that you can modify, answer keys, PowerPoint presentations. We serve up correlations to the ASE Education Foundation task list, so you know where and when we cover things within the text. We also recently have been delivering what we call image libraries. So if I had a quarter for every time an instructor said to me, hey, thanks, Erin, for your PowerPoints, but you didn't include my favorite image from chapter 6. Well, now with our image library, Gail's going to show you that you can do that. You can pick up our images that I might not have put in the PowerPoints and make a custom PowerPoint for yourself. But before Gail goes live, I also wanted to make you guys aware of some updates that we've made to our products and with the 2026 ASE Automotive Suite. And many of those updates are thanks to our new authors that are also instructors like yourselves. These authors and instructors are engaging with students every day. They're preparing those students for industry thanks to the input and their interactions with their local advisory boards. So special shout out, and feel free to put a heart or a clap or whatever kind of emoji Teams will allow you to. If you know Chris McNally out of Hudson Valley Community College or Brian Palmeter out of Southwestern College. Chris updated our electricity and electronics text, while Brian updated engine repair. And special shout out and thanks to George Pachoris out of Bronx Community College. He brought the magic to suspension and steering, while Scott Norman efforted and updated our heating and air conditioning. And of course, a love and attention and respect to Brandon Baldwin out of SUNY Canton and Anthony Heathcote, who was out of SIU Carbondale. Brandon updated engine performance, and Anthony worked his magic on manual transmission. So you're going to see a lot of updates within the digital text, thanks to those new authors. We also had a bunch of student feedback. They informed the design updates that we created within the ebooks and the physical text. So if your students were part of that effort, thank you so much. They also informed a new feature within the text themselves, the Shop Talk feature. Students in reviewing the design said, hey, it'd be great if we had some context as to why this chapter is important. Why are we reading what we're reading? Why are we learning what we're about to learn? So that's where that new Shop Talk feature came to be. And as I mentioned, we're expanding our videos. We brought the shop manuals are now Word doc files. The other thing too that we heard from you all was in some of the products, we needed a new chapter sequence so that the service information immediately followed the theory information. So you'll see that within a couple of those titles, the table of contents have changed so that when a student learns about theory, they then learn about service immediately following. So I'm going to hand off to Gail, the moment you've all been waiting for, so that she can show you the suite within Canvas. But just know, as Kathy initially mentioned, we play with a lot of other LMSs. We work well with a lot of other LMSs. So Gail, take it away.
All right, here we go. Okay, hey, thank you very much. Yeah, so right now we're going to want to break it down for you. We're going to take a look at the ASE suite, as Erin had mentioned. We're looking at it in Canvas, but again, you can have D2L, Blackboard, Canvas, Genzabar, Moodle. All of our content will integrate seamlessly into your learning management. So bear in mind, we took all the content, which of course is the e-text, which is the printed book in digital now, along with the shop manual. We have a workbook available, and then of course all the resources that go with it. So what we're going to be looking at is A1 through A8. So that's what we're looking at here. What I've done, here are all the resources for you, the instructor resource that of course that you're going to be able to utilize with your students. But I'm just going to scroll down a little bit, and here we go with all of your textbooks. The A1 auto engine, all the way down, A5, and I mentioned auto electricity. I'm going to be focusing today on the auto heating and air conditioning. And hopefully along the way, we'll be able to provide some tips along the way. And if you guys think of something, put it in the chat, because that's how we learn. We did a run through yesterday. I learned something I didn't know at all about the toolbox. So that's how we learn, sharing tips and ideas with each other. So how did we get here? You've worked with your educational consultant, you worked with me, or 10 or 11 of our post-secondary educational consultants. Get the content loaded for you. We worked with your learning management. I also worked with my digital support here, Blake, and he's here to, of course, to answer any questions. So it's always a group effort for us, to get it loaded for you. Okay, and this is what it looks like. Assets may look a little different in your LMS, but they're that same pattern. So I'm just going to start off today with the instructor resources. And you guys saw that as I scroll down, you saw the A1 through A8. So we have the instructor resources, instructor materials, answer keys, lesson plans, and so on. Let me just show you the the resource materials, which include, and I'm not going to read them all, but you guys can see the release notes, rubric, an ASE type question. There's an appendix, answer key. More importantly, we have the correlations in the competency checklist. So this is the Master Auto. This is the the task list. And I'm just scrolling down. It'll give you the job. Priority 1, as Erin had mentioned earlier, and then of course where you find it within the GW content. So again, we have these for each chapter, for each book. So what we're looking at here is the answer key, and then the the answer key is for your end of chapter questions, which includes your know and understand, apply and analyze, critical thinking, ASE type questions, chapter workbook, everything that you need as far as your answers go. What's so nice about our lesson plans, we've become more detailed, through the years. I love it because what I've seen is at least 99% of new instructors that come, they're all coming from industry, as Erin had mentioned earlier. They're going to be their guideline. This is going to give them, this is going to keep them on track. Or even if you're a master teacher, they'll be, we still have the objectives, what books, what text to be utilizing here. There are different teaching suggestions. So I would say, take a look at it. And let's just say you are preparing for maybe an adjunct, maybe you're a department chair or whatever. They're editable. So go in, make your do your editing, save it, put it in a folder, and then you're done. Because we know these books are updated every 3 years. So you're done. Or again, if that new instructor comes on, that adjunct, it's even more done for him because you've gone in and you've added what you want him or her to focus on. And then we have our PowerPoint presentations. Now there's two here. This one I did not open because it does open up pretty quickly. We have the two PowerPoints listed because one is static and then the other one is you can actually go in and make additions and make additions. You can add, subtract, whatever you'd like. What a lot of instructors will do. This is what I want to do. What a lot of instructors will do is they'll use it as a chapter opener. So they'll go in, create an assignment. Guys, we're going to be working on chapter 9. Take a look at it, and boom, you're done. Created that assignment, and then at least it's a nice start off for them because they know what they're going to be doing that week. There's about one of them that I pulled up. There was at least 50 plus slides with whatever chapter I was looking at. So there's more, and actually here's a list. There's more than enough content for you. But again, what's nice is you can go in, edit it, delete it. Maybe you've created your own along the way too. I've speak to a lot of instructors, depending on what they're using, what other publisher they might be using. They have actually had to go in and create their own. We've done the work for you, so you don't have to worry about it. We want you out in the shop. We want you in the classroom with your, with your students, so you can make the most, make the most of your time. We're going to take a look at the image library. So we have all of the images within the book, within each book. You'll find them here. So you could grab one. Maybe there's some content that you need to, that you want to reinforce. Maybe you've created a PowerPoint presentation or you want to emphasize something. Take that photo, put it in a slide, use that second PowerPoint, and boom, you're done. You're good. And let's go to the ebook. So the ebook, again, it's the same as the print book. So our ebooks are really nice. Again, if your student likes the print, we offer the print for you. It's the same. We have that same page fidelity. This is actually the opening of chapter 3. And of course, we have our learning outcomes. We have technical terms, what they're going to be learning, which you'll also find within flashcards. And we're going to take a look at that in a minute. Shop talk. And it goes into to the refrigeration. When you see a little the blue arrow, it's actually going to take your student to our digital activities. And I'm going to go back to this in a minute, but just to let you know that we offer that as well. Digital activities are going to give them that immediate feedback, that they're looking for. But one of the nice highlights within the ebook, actually, there's a few nice things with the ebook. Your students are able to take notes. They're able to highlight. They can create flashcards, similar to the flashcards with the digital activities, but they can collaborate with each other. And copied content. I love the copied content. You're able to do up to 20%, and it's really nice. Maybe there's something that they need to hone in on, and they just need to have it in front of them. They want to see that. They want to touch that. They do that. They copy it, and it's going to keep track. One of the nicest things within the e-reader is the speech to text. You have what we're hearing a lot from some of our instructors is students don't like to read anymore, unfortunately. Well, guess what? This will read to them. Just gotta highlight, as I had indicated, you can highlight if you want to take notes. I'm just gonna highlight the one here. I'm just gonna highlight one sentence. You do it in different colors, blue, green, whatever you'd like. But let's just hear
The
it.
following chapter identifies the properties and uses of refrigerants along with refrigerant oils used in automotive A/C systems.
So the digital companions, the digital activities that we just saw in the ebook, let's take a look at them. We have the e-flashcards, absolute zero. They're going to click and they'll get the definition. There we go, accumulator, and then there's the definition. In addition to this, we have matching activity. So they're going in, they're filling in the letter, and then they could check their answer at the bottom. You could even utilize this as an assignment. Say, hey guys, we're going to do matching activity chapter 3. Have them take a snapshot of it. Maybe they just needed a couple, if you want to give them a couple extra points, and then they turn that in. Hopefully they're going to do it until they get it right. So again, they have that repetition, the repetitious learning, just another way to, for memorization and for those, for that content to sink in. And then, of course, yes, as Erin had said earlier, the Jeopardy game. You play the music in the background. You can hum it. Sometimes I hum it. But for 300 points, maybe divide them up 2 teams. And of course, the larger point value, the harder the question. And if anybody wants to fill in, put the answer in the e-chat and in the chat box, I'll figure something out and we'll get it to you. The first one that gets it right, a heat exchanger that removes heat from entering the vehicle's cabin. Kathy, do we have anybody that's participating?
I'm watching the chat box. I'll let you know as
We're
soon as somebody
waiting. We're
answers
looking
the
for
question.
involvement. Okay, I'm going to put evaporator. I have no idea. Check the answer.
Oh, and you know what?
Yeah.
Jason came in at the same time, so we're going to let Jason be the winner.
All right, Jason,
Thanks,
and instructor.
Jason.
Thank you, Jason. Again, we're just trying to we're trying to provide your students with a different voice, or maybe you can just tell by the, maybe they're starting to lose interest or something. Again, just for a little excitement. I've walked into many classes. I'm sure my colleagues will say the same thing. We've seen it done. They'll toss a candy bar or something. Again, just to make it more fun. And then lastly, we have review questions. That's done in a doc form, the know and understand, same questions. And again, you're gonna have, you could have them do this, but we're also going to have this test bank within our GWA. So Kathy, has any questions or anything come up, or have we anything?
What is the process that needs to be done if I find the ASE answers in the instructor resources are incorrect? Do you have a contact? Oh, that is a wonderful question with our new GW assessment.
What is so nice about everything that we have that's digital, if there is a correction that needs to be made, it's going to be done immediately. Job sheets, our shop manual. I'm going to open up one, even though I already have another tab opened up. But here we go. This is job 4. Test for sealant in the refrigerant. And these are editable, enable editing. Again, your student can print it out depending on what the project is. They could bring it with them to the shop if need be. But again, everything is printable for you. They don't need that print copy. And we have the same premise, of course, with the workbook. And that's the next thing that I'd like to show you just real quickly. And we have workbook activity questions. In print, we have the textbook along with the shop manual. But your students are still going to go with digital. You're going with the ASE suite. Again, the 1 year or 2 year, your students are going to have access to the workbook. So you certainly have enough content if you for 1 year or 2 years, depending on your program. Okay, so we've taken a look at the instructor resources. But I have a couple more, still have a few more to show you. We have, as Erin had mentioned earlier, we have a virtual toolbox. And all of our textbooks that have come out, whether it be automotive, HVAC, I think you mentioned this, Erin, machining, it doesn't matter. We now have a toolbox for all of our content. What's really nice within the ASE suite is we have tool specified toolbox for the manual drivetrains, auto brakes, auto heating. So again, this is, I think they spend a lot of time, students that are within the auto heating, learning the terms. So we're going to, we're giving that to your students as well. I have no idea what that is. Let's go next. What is that? Term, Gale. All right. Manifold gauge set, and so on. So again, the tools.
Gail, you're our target
Yes.
audience for this virtual toolbox. You need some tool awareness. So you're in your
Thank you.
heating and
Yes.
AC course, and you're prepping, you're exposing yourself to these tools you're about to need. Thanks to the job sheet direction.
Absolutely, and it will coincide with the job sheets. With the job sheets. I'm going to show you the video. Erin mentioned the video library. Presently, we have about 80 some videos. But come next month, because really April is just about here. March 1st is coming Sunday. We're going to have new videos, and I have one all queued up. Look at that; it works.
A pre-alignment inspection. This ensures the vehicle is safe to align and that accurate measurements can be made. Check tire pressure and inspect the tires and wheels for damage, excessive wear, and mismatched sizes. Abnormal wear patterns can indicate underlying suspension or alignment problems.
Just to give you a little sneak preview of what's to come, how crisp, how relevant the videos are. So we're really, really very excited about that. And Erin, would you like to do the multimeter simulator? I was going to show that next.
Excellent. So you see here a list below. Now, I know you ASE Suite users, I've talked to you over the years, and this is one of the items that you appreciate. So I was super glad to hear that, because we recently updated them to make them accessible. So if you haven't looked at the multimeter simulations in a little while, you'll see that they've been updated for accessibility reasons. So we have a number of simulation activities, measuring resistance in a series circuit, measuring amperage in a series circuit, so on and so forth, that allow your students to practice these, utilizing a meter in a safe environment. So for this measuring resistance in a series circuit, problem 1, we're going to use the multimeter to measure resistance at various points in the series circuit. So I know I have some friends and family on this call, so you're all going to be really wowed with my abilities here. So I'm going to disconnect the battery. Well, actually, I'm going to read the question first. What's the resistance between point A and point B? So I'm going to work utilizing the simulation to determine what the resistance is between point A and point B. So I'm going to hook up my leads. Now I might be doing this out of order, so don't judge a girl. I'm going to turn my meter on. Oh, no, that's not right. And, oh. My old eyes are going to see the meter better. And then I'm going to hook up the red to the A and the black to the B. I'm going to get an error. Oh, because I didn't disconnect my battery. That's why. But ta-da! Eventually, when I practiced it, I was perfect. But as soon as I have to share my screen and go live, it's a mess. But yeah, so here's the reading between the resistance between point A and point B, 1 ohm. I submit that. I'm correct. I get a whopping 4 points. And then it's asking me what's the resistance between point C and point D. So as a student, I would work my way through measuring resistance, utilizing this meter. So just additional practice for your students beyond and in advance of when they go into the shop live. All right, back to you, Gail. Save them from my demo.
Erin, we did have one question about the simulations. Eric asked, can we grade or track their use in the simulations? Are you aware of if we can assign those, or I know they score points?
Yes, so they're not assignable yet, but that is a future opportunity for us. We know that programs would value that. So currently it's just practice for students. If you wanted, they could take a screenshot of the points and send it to you.
So in addition to the videos, the GW videos, we've also partnered with Advanced Auto Parts, and they've made available to us a Moto Visuals library, which has, I don't know, over 800, 900 different videos, animations. Again, more to use in your classroom if you're trying to explain a particular system to your student. Let's see, and I'm just kind of going through these.
There's never a convenient time to have a dead battery in your vehicle, whether you're starting the day and trying to get to work or trying to get to an important event. Why do batteries wear out? And what can you do to make sure that yours is always ready when you need it?
Again.
Hey, Gail, we had
Yes,
a question specific to
I'm
Moto
sorry, yeah.
Visuals. It might be a
Yeah.
question for Blake. I'm not sure. So Charles asked, is there a way to put a specific video into a specific place in his Canvas course module instead of switching to the Moto Visuals link on the dashboard there? Do you know, Blake, if those are
Yeah,
able
great
to be?
question. Typically our recommendation from a technical standpoint is to not pull those video links out of the resource that they're in. It ended up causing authentication errors on our side. So definitely something that I would recommend linking this to them so they have the access to that resource or making it more prominent. But as far as pulling the videos out, just for technical reasons, I would recommend leaving them in there.
Thank you, Blake.
Just one of my favorite things about Moto Visuals, I don't know if you guys have seen, but up in the upper left-hand corner, there's different views of vehicles. So Gail, if you click on one of those. So I love this visual. Like if you're going to be talking about oil, like if you click on the dipstick, Gail, and you hover over that component within the engine,
You're
or
assuming I
even
know
the
the
battery.
dipstick.
Yeah, there you go, the yellow. Yeah. So, suddenly you're going to have access to the videos and animations that support that component. So I love that view because, if you're covering engines or you're covering brakes that day, if you click on that component, it's going to give you, and that visual, it's going to give you all of the corresponding videos and animations. So keep going, Gail. Sorry about
Great,
that.
thank you. And I did not know that. So great. So thank you. Yeah, so we have another additional tool with the Moto Visuals. Last but not least, let me get back into Canvas here. We have our GWA that was created about a good year, 2 years ago when Test Banks, ExamView, they sunsetted and they no longer were producing. We've gone in, and ours are great. We've gone in, created our own GW assessment. So we load that. So once you decide that you're going to go with the ASE, we're going to send you the cartridges for your content, and in addition, there'll be another one for the GWA. So once that gets loaded, you would see it on your in your Canvas or D2L shelf. It would say the GW assessment. You're given a library for all of the books that you use. So we would actually find all of the A1 through A8 books here. And if by chance you happen to be using another one of our newer auto titles, 2026, 27, they would be listed here too. Of course, what we're seeing here is a list of all of our books. So we're looking at the auto heating and air conditioning. Here we go. That's what I wanted to show you guys. And again, this is just a brief peek of what we offer. If you want a more detailed visit with this, walk through, reach out to your EC. We'll be more than happy to present it to you. But just for time's sake right now, I wanted to show you. So remember, there's 5 test banks, the 5 that I mentioned earlier. We have the EOC end of chapter, the exam. That's the end of each chapter. post-test, pre-test, usually about 5 to 10 questions, and then the ASE type questions.
Awesome. Well, we were really excited last year. We wanted to do another shout out. We spread the news through social media and let our instructors know about Rebecca Fenton. She is from Fairfax County Public Schools out of Woodbridge, Virginia, and she won the GW sponsored ASE Educator of the Year award last year. So we wanted to just highlight her today with all of you. And then I think Erin wants to give you some good information about the 2026 award coming up.
Yeah, so ASE just posted that they have an upcoming, again, 2026 Instructor of the Year. So I recently discovered that promotion on LinkedIn. If you all aren't familiar, it honors the memory of Burl Schumacher, who is an Ohio State Director of Vocational and Adult Education. He was there from 1962 till 1982, as you can see. But if you all aren't familiar, so every year ASE, in addition to hosting an in-person board meeting in November, they also do a technician awards ceremony. So there are a number of companies, GW included, that sponsor a Technician of the Year award or an Instructor of the Year award. And it's just a wonderful opportunity. ASE coordinates it all. They provide the technician and the instructors that receive the awards with the opportunity to travel to a wonderful place. This year we're going to Nashville for the board meeting and also the instructor and technician award. So they fly the recipient and a spouse or significant other to the board meeting and the awards banquet. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to love up on technicians and instructors. So if you want to get yourselves nominated, get yourselves nominated. It's a wonderful opportunity. If you'd like to nominate another instructor, just really wonderful. So I hope to be celebrating one of you all, or many of you all, or all of you this year at the upcoming Instructor of the Year awards, including the GW sponsored one. So thank you in advance, Kathy, for making that happen.
Yes.
So obviously we spent some time today, Gail, thank you very much, walking you through the ASE Automotive Suite, but certainly to remind you all too, that it's not just about our auto series titles. We also have our best-selling, super popular, all-in-one bumper-to-bumper product in modern automotive technology that also can be served up within a learning management system. For those programs that are MLR accredited or MLR specific, don't worry, we got you there too with our maintenance and light repair technician offering. That second edition just published a short while ago. And it's not just about our automotive friends. There's also the collision folks, the medium heavy truck folks, the off-highway heavy equipment friends, motorsports, small engines. We've got you. So if you dabble in some of these areas, please let your consultant know, or if you have colleagues that are in these areas, we have a number of new resources. You see them here on the slides. Auto collision repair and refinishing just was recently published, with a big shout out to Joe Baker out of Metropolitan Community College, and his colleague Chris Gogan authored the shop manual, and Amy Bugner out of BOCES in upstate New York. She created the workbook. Diesel engine technology, that new edition recently published, and that's the bee's knees, as well as Tim Dell's hydraulic systems for mobile equipment. So we're everywhere in transportation, and we're happy to support your programs.
Yes, thank you, Erin. So on the screen here are links to all of the A1 through A8 titles that we reviewed today. They're all part of the ASE Automotive Suite. I'm also going to put in the chat real quick here as we're talking those links as well. So if you wanted to take as a next step, if you were interested in the way these work and you'd like to go in and review all the online resources on your own, there's a separate link for each of those titles that I've just included in the chat. What you would receive is an email from our customer service department. It's custserve@g-w.com, and that would include access to an Explore instructor sample, and that would give you the full online textbook plus a sampling of those instructor resources that Gail and Erin showed you today. So it would be able to, I always like to be able to dive in myself and take a look at things. So if you were interested today in any of those specific titles, and knowing, as they mentioned, that they all follow a consistent format, that would be part of the suite. So giving you an opportunity today to go ahead and click any of those links, a quick form that you fill out, and we'll be getting you the sample in the next few days. And then if you prefer to work directly with your wonderful GW educational consultant, as you can see, we've got a number of wonderful people who are so supportive of you. You can reach out to them anytime. If you have not connected with your specific consultant, there's a link on the page there that you can find yours, but they are willing to provide samples. If you don't want to go through the online form and you'd rather reach out to your educational consultant, they can take care of it for you. They can set up an online demo so that one-on-one you can look at any of our materials. They can provide quotes for you if you decide that you're going to want to adopt something for your program. Really, they're there for you. They're your first point of contact from GW, and they're just a great group of people. We have them dedicated for whether you're a high school program or a college program or a career school, or you're part of a business industry and training group. We've got somebody for you, and they take such great care of you. So a little plug for our educational consultants. And then finally, we just wanted to kind of give you a next steps, or hopefully we're going to see you again after today. We're going to be hosting 2 webinars coming up. One is with Joe Baker, who Aaron just referenced, our new co-author of the Auto Collision Repair and Refinishing book. And then also with Brian LaCroix, our new author of Modern Automotive Technology. So check your inboxes for invitations to upcoming webinars there. We're also going to be at a number of automotive related conferences. I'd love for you to put in the chat if you're planning on attending any of these so that we can make a note and look for you there. There's some state conferences in Illinois, in Michigan, in the Rocky Mountain area. If you participate in Skills USA, we always have a big presence there. Thank you, Gail, MTTIA. She's going to be there. The ASE Instructor Conference we do every year. The NACAT, which is merging with the California Automotive Teachers this year for the first time, will be there. We're all over the place, and we would love to see you. Like I said, I'd love to have you put in the chat if you're planning on attending any of those, or if there's other conferences that you attend that aren't on the list, we'd love to hear so that we can explore those as well. So I think that is it for today. I'll give it another minute in case anybody had any last questions. I think, Aaron, you'll have to check your inbox. It looks like David has sent you an email. So thank you, David, in advance for that. And we just want to thank you all for being here. It's a Friday afternoon. We appreciate your time. We hope you enjoyed and learned some things today and from each other. And like Aaron said at the top, we're so passionate about automotive education. We have been from the start. And so it's wonderful to be surrounded with instructors like you to take the path with us. So Gail and Aaron, I'll let you close us out.
Yep, just want to thank everybody for coming today. Blake, thank you very much for being with us. We truly appreciate that. One thing though, reach out to us, and there's actually a good many. At least I saw a lot of my colleagues on the call today, so we're ready for you. Whatever you need, we are definitely here for you. Oh, and by the way, I also have Hawaii and Alaska. I don't think that was on my list. But yeah, and I think, yeah, so we're here for you. Aaron, any last words?
Thanks, everybody. Have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.